What is that?
There is something in Derry.
Something is rotten in Derry, Maine, and it's not just the sewers. For decades, people have whispered about the town's curse, about disappearances, and about a monster wearing a clown's face. But what if the truth was far darker? What if Pennywise wasn't born in Derry, but created there? Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. Today we're exposing a chilling theory that flips everything we thought we knew about Stephen King's It. What if the US government discovered Pennywise first? What if the Air Force tried to turn the creature into a Cold War weapon and failed catastrophically? In this video, we'll unravel the terrifying secrets behind Operation Precept, the buried car in the woods, the monster mother, and how one man's psychic power, the Shine, connected Pennywise to the wider Stephen King multiverse. Grab your flashlight, because we're going deep into the tunnels beneath Derry, and this time, the clown isn't the only thing to fear.
Quick. We're close. We're close.
The Cold War and Operation Precept. The first and most crucial detail is the setting, Derry Air Force Base in the summer of 1962. This isn't just a backdrop, it's the core of the entire mystery. We are at the absolute peak of the Cold War, a time when paranoia, espionage, and the terrifying threat of nuclear war defined the American psyche. The U.S. government, represented by the shadowy figures in the Air Force, specifically General Shaw, is desperate for an edge. They're looking for a weapon, a decisive advantage against the Soviets. They're not just looking in the sky, they're looking beneath the ground in Derry. Enter Operation Precept. This is the military's top secret mission, and its goals are terrifyingly clear. Locate, study, and most importantly, weaponize the entity they know is buried in the earth. They don't call it Pennywise, they call it the asset, or the entity. Think about the atmosphere. The entire town is saturated with fear. The Cuban Missile Crisis is looming. This high level of real-world adult fear is the perfect environment for it to thrive, and the perfect catalyst for the military to become desperate enough to cross lines no one should cross. Operation Precept isn't a defensive measure, it's an offensive attempt to harvest a god. The military knows something is in Derry. They know the town has a history. The clues are everywhere, from the mysterious blueprints that Major Leroy Hanlon is meant to oversee, to the palpable secrecy surrounding the base. The base isn't there just to protect America. It's there to contain, control, or exploit the horror that sleeps below. This is the show's biggest deviation from the books and its most compelling addition, the realization that before the Losers Club, before any children fully grasped the true evil, the U.S. government knew, and they tried to use it. The Shining Connection. Dick Halloran. How does the military plan to find an interdimensional, shape-shifting entity? They don't use radar or sonar. They use a psychic. This brings us to the shocking connection to the Stephen King multiverse, Dick Halloran. If you've seen The Shining or Dr. Sleep, you know Dick Halloran. He's the cook at the Overlook Hotel, the mentor to Danny Torrance, and a man blessed or cursed with the psychic ability known as the Shine. The Shine allows its user to read minds, see the past, and sense the presence of powerful supernatural evil. In Welcome to Derry, Dick Halloran is an airman stationed at the base and a close friend of Leroy Hanlon. But he's not just a friend, he's a key piece of Operation Precept. The military knows about the Shine. They have identified it, tracked it, and now they are using it as a paranormal detection system to locate the asset.
Think about the implications of this. In all of King's canon, the Shine is a secret, misunderstood power known only to those who possess it or are touched by it. But in 1962 Derry, the U.S. Air Force has weaponized it. They are using Halloran's mind, his most vulnerable tool, to track a being that preys on minds. This is a terrifying, unprecedented level of government involvement with the supernatural. Halloran isn't just seeing things, he's seeing it. He is the government's psychic antenna, constantly broadcasting the monster's presence. He's caught between his duty and the overwhelming cosmic truth that the entity is too ancient and too evil to be used for human conflict. This entire operation is a tragedy in the making. Halloran's experience in Derry, the horrors he witnesses, and the corruption he senses will be the trauma that shapes him into the weary, protective figure we know from The Shining.
Stuck on base pointing at maps, and we're running out of time. Put him in the air.
Leroy Hanlon, the fearless key. If Dick Halloran is the locator, Major Leroy Hanlon is the handler. He is the grandfather of Mike Hanlon, the only Losers Club member who remains in Derry and becomes the historian of the creature. Leroy's entire arc is centered around one critical detail. He cannot feel fear. In an early scene, General Shaw tests Leroy. This isn't a routine medical exam. It's a screaming for invulnerability. Leroy's war injury has left him with a unique neurological condition that prevents him from experiencing the emotion of fear. This makes him the perfect tool for Operation Precept. Pennywise thrives on fear. It doesn't just eat children, it seasons them with terror first. A person incapable of fear is effectively immune to Pennywise's greatest, most powerful weapon. The military's logic is clear. 1. Halloran shines a light on it. 2. Leroy walks into the darkness unharmed. Leroy is the intended cage for the monster. The ultimate plan isn't to kill Pennywise. It's to use Leroy's lack of fear to approach the asset, contain it, and then study its power to win the Cold War. They want to turn the fear of Pennywise into a weapon of mass destruction. But Pennywise is not a bomb to be diffused. It's a sentient, cosmic predator. And this brings us to the inevitable, explosive failure of Operation Precept.
You will float again.
The inevitable collapse and the black spot fire. We know this mission is going to fail. We know Pennywise will not be contained. The question is, how spectacularly will the military fail? The most likely answer is the black spot fire. In the original It novel, the Black Spot was an African-American social club and bar that was burned down by a racist hate group in 1950, killing over 20 people, including children. It was a clear demonstration of Derry's inherent human evil that complements the cosmic evil of Pennywise. Welcome to Derry is taking place in 1962, a couple of years after the book's Black Spot event. However, it seems the series is moving this tragic event to align with the Operation Precept timeline, or perhaps the new Black Spot fire is the consequence of the military's meddling. Imagine the climax. Halloran's shine leads Leroy and the Air Force straight to Pennywise. The confrontation takes place, perhaps at the Black Spot, or somewhere nearby, and the military's containment strategy backfires catastrophically. The pure, unbridled cosmic horror of the Deadlights is simply too much for human technology. The resulting disaster, the fire, the deaths, the unholy spectacle of Pennywise being unleashed is so devastating that it becomes the ultimate trauma that defines Derry for the next 30 decades.
The prequel paradox and the multiverse. The show is fundamentally changing the mythology in a few key ways, and it all comes back to the military cover-up. First, this explains Derry's amnesia. The government doesn't just fail, they impose a top-down cover-up to hide their involvement and their desperate failed attempt to weaponize the creature. This cover-up is what creates the legendary cycle of denial in Derry, where residents simply forget the horror every 27 years. They're not just forgetting Pennywise, they're forgetting the US government's colossal, fear-inducing failure. The second, the Shining connection opens up the entire Stephen King multiverse. The fact that the military knows about the Shine proves that psychic abilities are a documented reality in this shared universe. The evil of Pennywise and the evil of the Overlook Hotel, two great forces of Stephen King horror, are now definitively linked by a single terrified and powerful man, Dick Halloran. Welcome to Derry is not just showing us how Pennywise came to be, it's showing us how the powerful, rational world of men tried to beat the irrational cosmic world of the monster and lost, utterly and completely. The monster that terrorized the Losers Club in the 1980s was only possible because the U.S. military made a fatal mistake 27 years earlier. The Air Force went searching for a weapon, and instead, they simply woke the demon up. Our nerdy thoughts. And there you have it, the horrifying truth about Operation Precept, the monster mother, and how the U.S. military may have unleashed the ultimate cosmic evil in Derry. If this theory is true, then Pennywise isn't just a monster, he's a mistake, a weapon that turned on its creators, and maybe the reason fear itself became the real power in Stephen King's universe. What do you think? Was Pennywise truly a government experiment gone wrong, or is Derry's evil something evil older? Something that's been feeding on us since the beginning? Let me know your thoughts and theories down in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell icon so you don't miss what's coming next. Because in Derry, the story's only just beginning. Until next time, this is Spoiler Master, signing off from your nerdy show. And remember, fear always finds a way back.
Now what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.